Today I'm going to be making a stuffed savory masa. This masa recipe is quite different from the last one I made because the one I'm going to be making today is the savory and slightly spicy version. It's full of flavor and it's very tasty. So let's get started. I'm going to be using jasmine rice today, and this rice has been soaked for 6 hours and I've just rinsed it out. But before I blend this, I'll first proof the yeast. And in this bowl, I've got some warm water, sugar and yeast, and I'm going to mix that together and set aside. So now I'm going to be blending some ginger, some onions, and some pre-cooked rice together with the rice which I've previously soaked and rinsed. And finally, I'm going to be adding some water, and I'll be blending this until it's smooth and creamy. I actually start out with 1 cup of water for every 3 cups of rice, and that has always worked for me. To save your blender from breaking, you can start with the pulse button first and gradually increase the speed as you blend. And if by mistake you discover your batter is too watery, just blend some more pre-cooked rice together with the batter, and that will make the batter thicker. Once you are done blending, pour the mixture into a bowl large enough to accommodate about twice or 3 times the size of the batter. This will give room for the batter to rise. Add the proof yeast and mix it together. It's okay if there are still some tiny little grains of rice in the batter. It's actually unavoidable, and this will definitely not affect your final outcome. The batter should have a pourable consistency, like that of the Nigerian pancake. So at this point, I'm going to be covering this up, and I'll leave it to proof and ferment for about 6 to 8 hours, or probably overnight. Now my batter is ready, and the bubbles you see right here is an indication that the yeast is very active. If you don't see this, it's likely your masa won't come out well. So now I'll be adding some baking powder, some salt, and some sugar. And finally, I'm going to be adding a little bit of yogurt. I like to state that the sugar added to this will not alter the savory taste of the masa at all. It will just help to balance the sharp taste of the fermented batter. This batter looks a little bit too thick for me, so I'm going to add about 2 more tablespoons of water. You also need to be very careful when adding more water because the little water goes a very long way. Now that I've got the perfect consistency that I want, it's now time to fry. Drizzle some cooking oil in your masa pan, and once the oil is hot, add a layer of batter into the pan. The first layer should be halfway full, and I'm going to be layering this immediately with some Dambu Nama which I've made earlier. Now cover this up immediately with another layer of batter. And once the edges begin to solidify, use 2 bamboo skewers to flip it over. When both sides turns golden brown and you are satisfied with it, you can now remove from heat and serve with your favorite stew or dipping sauce. And this version of masa can also be eaten alone as a snack because it's really tasty. This is how the masa looks like. It's really soft and fluffy, and you can subtly feel the taste of the onions and the ginger. And in my opinion, the Dambu Nama and the masa makes a perfect match. Let me know in the comment section down below or on my Facebook page if you have any suggestions on what you think masa can be stuffed with. And that is it again for today. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.